Good evening. You're attending a meeting of the City of Jacksonville Beach Board of Adjustments. The Board of Adjustment meetings are quasi-judicial in nature. All decisions of the board will be based on competent, substantial evidence, including the testimony provided in this meeting. Any person who is not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located on the side table by the door, and then please turn them into the clerk. Each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking from the audience, and applause or cheering will not be allowed. Please silence your phones. Can we have a roll call, please?
John Moreland.
Here.
Owen Curley.
Here.
Jeff Trular. Matt Metz. Laura Tierney. Here. Douglas Dell.
Okay, well, we have 3 members, so we do have a quorum. You need 3 votes to have your request for a variance approved. Moving on, can we have approval of minutes? Is there a motion to approve the minutes from August 5th of 2025?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to correspondence. Do we have any correspondence other than the speaker's cards? Okay, there's no old business, so let's get on with the new business. Can we call the first case, please?
Sure.
Hold on. Before we start, you guys do have the right to defer since we only have 3 members here today. So if you wish to defer to the next meeting to have more members available, you are free to do that.
That's a good point. Normally we do it individually, but we have a lot on the docket tonight. So there's only 3 of us here tonight. Normally there's 5 voting members. So with 5 voting members, there can be some leeway. You need 3 votes to have your variance approved. There's no room for error, obviously, with 3. So if you were interested in deferring, the city clerks can take care of your request. Just when we call your case, just tell us if you'd like to defer or not, and we'll just remind you. Okay. Okay. Sorry. New business.
All right. Calling case BOA number 25-1000065. Property address 4086 East Seaside Drive. You want to do the motion to consider?
Motion to consider. Yeah.
Motion to consider is a deviation from ordinance number 2013-8013, project narrative section 2(3)A, accessory uses and structures for an accessory structure setback of 3 feet in lieu of 5 feet to accommodate a pool.
Okay. As a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Michael Roop, 4086 Seaside Drive East.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. I also have Amy DeVito here that will help speak on my behalf.
She can be sworn in as well.
All right, please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Amy DeVito, 4086 Seaside Drive East, Jacksonville Beach, Florida, 32250.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, please.
You just want like an overview?
Sure. Yes. Tell us what you.
Okay. Well, our lot size is a lot smaller for our location, and we are left with very little coverage to be able to build the pool. So we're asking for the additional space to accommodate like a 35 by 18 size pool in the backyard. Our coverage right now, just doesn't allow that with the space. And it looks like our setback line in the backyard is 10 feet from the fence versus the sides, which are 5.
Okay, so I have it on the staff report that your coverage is 4,566 square feet, which is slightly above the 4,500 square feet minimum.
For the current lot coverage?
Not for lot coverage, just the size of your lot.
Okay.
And then,
You mean like our lot is over the minimum?
yeah, you're slightly larger. Well, slightly larger, yeah, than the minimum requirement.
Okay.
Um,
Does Joseph have any notes on what we went over in our pre-meeting?
Could you speak up into the microphone,
Oh.
please?
That was like a reference in our pre-meeting that the lot was too small, so that was some assistance that I got. That it might be helpful to know that the lot was too small.
Previously, when we looked at the initial project, the lot was looked at as the RS1 lot, but we did more research and we found out you were in the Ocean Terrace PUD, and the Ocean Terrace PUD has their own like lot sizes and different setbacks from like regular zoning.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. Do you have input on options for being able to build beyond that 10-foot line in the back fence?
I don't. We only hear the variance request. We can't offer you advice on how
Okay.
to meet the variance.
So based on our size and what we're submitting, what else would you need in order to be able to review moving the setback line for the pool?
Can you in fact put a pool on your lot if it's slightly smaller than what you would ideally like?
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to match setups as our neighbors. They just had a pool installed. It looks great. But based on our setback line, like even their pool is beyond our setback line for the small pool that they just had. And we're a corner lot.
Can you repeat what you just said?
A reasonably sized pool still doesn't fit like 10 feet from the fence. Because right now our setback is 10 feet from the back fence.
Mm-hmm.
So that only gives us a couple feet for a pool.
But is their property smaller or larger than your property?
Do you know?
Their backyard.
Yeah.
It's larger by about 2.5 feet.
Larger.
Your property is larger.
No, theirs.
No, the neighbor's property in question, they have about an additional 2.5 foot width. Our fence line was about 2.5 feet brought in due to we're a corner lot, but there was trees that they didn't want to cut down when they were building in Ocean Terrace from our actual property line, whereas the other lots are actually built to the property line dimensions.
Okay. That's helpful, thank you.
Excuse, did you say that there was a pool there already, or is this a brand new pool?
Not brand new. They just built it. They just finished it.
So it's already built?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but theirs is still up to the 5 feet from the fence. So if we, like currently, since ours is 10 feet from the fence, it like eats half of our yard.
So I'm looking at the notice and your application, and in the published notice, the public notice, it says for an accessory structure setback of 3 feet in lieu of 5 feet minimum, single family home, and then it has listed your address. It doesn't say 10 feet on that. Is there something missing? I'm looking at the at the
I had-
application, and it says the property, our setback is 10 feet. We do not say it's for a pool. Well, here it is. You're asking for a setback to be approved of 3 feet from the fence line. Are you asking for a setback of 3 feet, or are you asking for a setback?
3 feet all the way around. So the way our lot is, it's currently 5 feet from the edges and 10 feet from the back. So we're asking for 3 feet all the way around. Do you want this one where it shows the 10-foot line? I think that's the.
It's that, right?
I have the survey versus the boundary. That one's the boundary survey.
I
So
believe
have this.
she's referring to the building restriction line. The building restriction line states 10, but I believe they want to encroach 3 feet instead of the 5.
Right. So it's in lieu of 5 feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not 10 feet. It's 5
No,
feet.
3 feet instead of 5. Yeah.
Okay, so BRL, is that different where it says
Yeah,
10?
BRL, and then what they're asking, the texture structure for that PVD is different from the building restriction line.
Is it possible to build a pool within the 5 feet? It's not 10 feet. It's 5.
It is 5. Is this? Can I show you real quick? If you can help me see on here.
We have to keep it. If you submit it, it's part of the record.
Okay. Do we get it back later? Like
Oh,
after?
We'll have to make a copy.
It's up to the city. They're the
Yeah, it's up to the city clerk.
No,
They want to
okay.
make a copy.
I'm sorry, I just want to verify, is that what we have?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, yeah, that's the same one. So yeah, where it says 10 BRL, so that doesn't matter. We're allowed to build the pool beyond that. Maybe that's where the confusion is. We thought we had to be in front of where it says 10 BRL in the backyard.
that would be a question to the city, right? Is that
What was the question?
Are we allowed to build the pool beyond where it says 10 BRL?
If approved by a variance, or if you're at least 5 feet away from it.
So if approved by a variance.
Yeah, if approved by a variance, yeah.
So okay, so that's
Because
what
you're asking for 3, but the minimum is 5.
the minimum is 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking if we go from 10 to 5, if that's enough space for us?
Yeah.
Is the question. Okay.
If you're able to build that small, then yeah.
so?
Um,
If you could build within 5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we have the option to get a variance for 3?
So if you're asking to move forward with your variance request, then I'm going to ask you this question, which is, we have a set of 5 criteria by the Land Development Code, the LDC, which has been recently adopted by the city. And we have to meet all the requirements of the Land Development Code. One of them is that there are circumstances or conditions that exist which prevent compliance with site design. So in that case, in your case, you would say that you cannot build a pool in the allotted area using the current setbacks. But then, the other condition is that it's not a self-imposed hardship, meaning that you could do it, but you chose not to do it.
Don't want to do it?
Sorry?
Don't want to do it?
Don't want to do it. So with those 2 things in mind, I guess my question to you is, 1, could you build your pool with the existing setbacks? I think you thought it was 10 feet, but it's actually 5.
Right. Does that include the pavers that go around the pool for the space?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So the paver would end at 5?
Mhm.
It would just be really tiny.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we're here to see if it's an option to be able to go beyond So we have the 3 being the cutoff. At least on our property that's facing JTV, because we lose 2 feet on that side because our fence is blocked because of the tree, and it's also Public Works side of ownership. Is it possible to focus on that and being able to get the extra 2 feet since we lost that?
If we're talking about Public Works, you probably have to get a permit from Public Works to make sure you can build that. If you're in the Public Works easement.
Right. So for the variance request, since we're losing 2 feet, our setback that's showing on here as 5, technically it's like we lost 2 of that 5. We don't even have access to 2 feet of that 5 space.
And we're talking about the side, right?
Yeah, the side that's facing Sanctuary Parkway. So where our property line is, we lost 2 feet on that side because of the tree that's in the middle of Public Works in our yard. So our fence was built 2 feet in.
Okay, all right.
So when they were designing pool options, everything's shorter.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So if I understand correctly, you would be able to have a pool the size you want if it wasn't for the tree. I personally value trees.
No, we wanted to ask for the variance to be able to go beyond the setback so we don't touch the tree. So that we can just build with the backyard that we have.
Okay. But in theory, if you got rid of a tree, would you be able to put in the pool that you want without a variance?
Without the variance, it is only 2 feet, so it would be a little bit bigger, but ideally no.
Do you want to discuss options? You have questions about options. Did you want to discuss options with the city before we actually vote on what to do?
Yes, sir, if that's an option.
Can they defer and then?
Yeah, if they want to defer, you can sit down with me and Christian to build like something that's more suitable. It's up to you guys.
If you defer, we would just put you on for our next meeting, and then, it's not like an adverse ruling or anything against your variance request, and you don't have to reapply or show a material change in circumstance. You would simply defer and then discuss with the city, and then come up with a new
Okay,
plan.
yeah, that would be good. Thank
Okay.
you.
So,
Just send me an email. We can sit down tomorrow or anytime during the week to make sure we have the right measurements.
do we need to move on that? Do we need to make a motion on that? Yes, we do. Okay. So, you want to defer? Is there a motion to defer?
Motion to defer case BOA number 25-10065.
Okay, it's been moved to defer it. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's moved and second. Any discussion? Okay, can we have a roll call vote on the motion to defer?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Okay, your request to defer has been approved. And then just follow what the city says.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay,
The board calls case number BOA 25-100066, property address 214/218 South 7th Avenue. Motions to consider 34-706 1 Echo 1 Hotel for a reduction of on-site parking from 6 spaces required to 2 spaces maximum. 34-615 Echo 3 Charlie 1 for a front yard setback of 7.5 in lieu of 20 feet minimum. 34-615 Echo 3 Charlie 2 for a westerly side yard setback of 6.7 feet in lieu of 10 feet minimum for the existing front structure. 34-615 Echo 3 Charlie 2 for a westerly side yard setback of 1 foot in lieu of 10 feet minimum for the rear structure. 34-615 Echo 3 Charlie 3 for a rear yard setback of 4.8 feet in lieu of 20 feet minimum for the rear structure 34-702 Delta for a parking setback of 1 foot in lieu of 5 feet minimum for renovation of an existing multifamily property contained in 2 non-conforming structures.
Okay. As a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I did get a call and I'm trying to make sure this is the right one to talk about ex
It was the next one.
parte. Yeah, it was the next one. I apologize. No, I've had none.
And I've had none. Okay, would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
If you could turn the mic on.
Sorry about that. Matthew McCord, 1025 4th Avenue North. I am the agent representative.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
And please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
I'm Sunday Hero, 218 7th Avenue. I'm the property owner.
Okay, your address.
5375 Hala Court, Jacksonville, Florida.
Thank you. And do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I know that's a mouthful, but ultimately we're requesting these variances based off the property owner, Dr. Hero, inheriting the hardships which are there. Initially, this parcel was split before the adoption of the 2050 comprehensive plans as well as the current land development codes. He owned the front property and purchased the rear property. 214 is the front property. The rear property is 218, which he has purchased. And we're also doing the conditional next week. But for this, we're requesting the reduction of those parking spaces from the 6 to the 2 because they are within the current setbacks, and due to the hardships of how it was inherited and also the development of those alleyways, you can't expand those any further, as well as those setbacks as it was pre-existing before the 2050 and the current land development codes.
And are there going to be 3 units or 2 units?
It'll be 3 units total, sir. The front unit, 214, is already a 2-unit property, and then there's a single unit at the rear, which is currently addressed as 218.
And does that present any parking issues?
No, sir. There's we outlined the parking out there in the site plan and survey. As you come down the alleyway, you can actually enter from either direction and have the 2 parking spaces there. This will be used as a rental property, which will help. We are improving that property to the left. That metal shed is actually no longer existing, and so it doesn't impede. And then we will be improving those as well, which is going to overall raise the value of the properties around it to make that livable and also affordable rental for folks in the area.
So the renovation project, you're keeping the structure, right? The same main structures.
Yes, sir.
Same. You're just renovating the interior.
Correct.
You gotten rid of the metal shed already.
Yes, sir.
Explain where you said there's parking on the alley.
No, sir. Access on the alley.
Access.
Yeah, they've recently paved that alleyway.
So where do people park now? You have 2 units, right?
Yes.
Where are they parking?
So for 214 on the other side, they park coming in from, 7th Avenue. So they park coming in from 7th Avenue. And then current parking for the 218 right there, which is pictured, sir, is where those 2 red lines have been outlined.
Okay.
That's a concrete pad there.
So how much parking now is on the property?
The two that you see there.
So just the two?
Yes, sir.
And where they park on 7th, that's public parking, so you can't count that. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And is that an issue for parking right now?
It has not been.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
So we're combining 214 and 218. What is pictured on the screen right now is 218, the only access to which is on a back alley.
Correct.
214 has no parking?
214 has parking currently, but by bringing it to the variance board, both properties had to be assessed because the parking is within the setbacks. And so that's the portion of that that's requesting the setback of 7.5 feet in lieu of 20 feet minimum.
214 has parking that's in the front yard setback, is what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
That still counts as parking. I mean, most driveways cover setback, right? Like most.
But due to like it's multifamily, each unit needs at least 2 parking spots each. So that's the only reason why they're asking for the parking. And everything else is just non-conformities that already exist.
If you combine the units, then the parking on 214 would also count for 218 because it would just be one lot. So what's confusing me is that the request is for 2 parking spaces total, and the 2 parking spaces pictured are on 218, which would suggest they're asking to not have any parking at all on 7th Ave South, where there already exists parking.
So in the front, they already have existing parking, but in order to bring the back unit into conformity, they need to ask for the parking.
But if they combine the lots, it's all one unit, or it's not.
No, technically, they're 2 separate units. Technically, they have 2 different parcel numbers.
So we attach the variance to the property. They're not combining the property. It's just that they'll own 2 separate lots, and we're only talking about a variance for lot 218, and the consideration of 214
Correct. Yeah.
is just for context.
Yeah, just to bring everything back into conformity and to make sure 218 is able to have accessible parking.
Oh, okay, so it's only for 218, really?
For 218, and then the non-conformities on both of the parcels.
Right, but the parking.
Yes, that's the parking.
Is 218.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. I'm sorry, I was confused. How much parking is at 214?
There's currently enough for 4 vehicles.
Okay, and so
pretty much 2 per unit.
So that right there will bring really the total up to 6.
Yeah. So 2 for the front, 4 for the front,
Right.
and 2 for the back.
2 for the back.
And then all the non-conformities that already exist on the parcel.
But all 3 residences that would be available are on 218 that we're talking about for this variance. 214 has a separate.
Whenever they get a conditional use, it'll become one. But right now they're separate. Without the conditional use, they're not technically a multifamily yet. And I think next week you guys are going up for the conditional use.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep, on Monday.
So what? Explain to me why they need a variance.
They need a variance for the parking, and they need a variance to bring everything up to conformity.
I understand everything else. I just don't understand the parking.
Because technically 218 is not by itself yet. Once they get the conditional use, then I believe it'll be one multi-family structure. But right now, there's 2 different structures.
So how much parking does 218 has 2 spots?
Yes, sir. Proposed.
Okay, so it has none right now.
No, not right now. But 214 does have adequate parking.
Okay, all right, that makes sense to me. Okay. I see what's going on. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? No. Okay. Thank you. I'll now close the public. I'll open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? We have a number of speakers who have filled out speakers cards, but we don't have any corresponding case numbers. Is anybody here to speak on this particular case? You two can step back if you'd like. Thanks. Yeah, they're probably all on the next one. Okay. Okay, any speakers that wanted to speak on this particular case? Okay, seeing that we know speakers cards and no one in the audience has responded, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA 25-100066 based on substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for variance as outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the previous motion to be contingent on the existing structures on the property. So,
I think it's a good idea. Yes. Okay, is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any discussion? I think it's a little confusing. I agree with the amendment. I think it's a good idea to tighten it up. Okay, any more discussion on that? Okay, can we have a vote on the amendment, please?
Matt Matz,
yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Okay, so now we're having discussion on the amended motion to approve. Any more discussion on that?
Once they get approved for the if they get approved for the conditional use, then I think it will become one property, right?
Yeah.
But they haven't gotten approved to be one multi-family property, but they are in line to get that approved.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? Okay, can we have a roll call vote on the amended motion then?
Matt Matz,
Yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Owen Curley,
Yes.
Laura Tierney.
Yes.
Okay, your request for variance has been approved as the conditions specified. Okay, can we call the next one, please?
Board calls BOA number 25-100067, property address 1240 North 5th Avenue. Motions to consider sections 34-611 Echo 1 Charlie 1 for a front yard setback of 18.9 feet in lieu of 25 feet. 34-611 Echo 1 Charlie 2 for an easterly side yard setback of 5.4 feet in lieu of 10 feet. 34-611 Echo 1 Charlie 2 for a westerly side yard setback of 5.6 in lieu of 10 feet for various dwelling additions and a swimming pool addition to an existing single-family property.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I received a phone call to my voicemail indicating the applicant would like to speak further about this application. I did give a call back, received their voicemail, and just left a message reminding them of the sunshine law, that everything would need to be in the sunshine. So didn't have any actual discussion around the case at all, but just disclosing.
I too had a call, I believe it was from the agent, Ian Brown. I told him I would not like to speak about his pending matter because I did want to hear it, consider it, and vote on it. Anyone else?
I've had none.
I've had none.
Okay. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Ian Brown, 245 Riverside Avenue, Jacksonville, Florida.
Microphone.
Ian Brown.
Just yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Green. That's better. Ian Brown, 245 Riverside Ave, Jacksonville, Florida, 32202.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, sir.
Good evening, Ian Brown here on behalf of the owners. The owners are here, as well as some supporting neighbors and the general contractor, should those questions emerge. But we'll jump right into it. I have a PowerPoint, but you also have a printout in front of you. So if it's not on the screen, we can go analog here. Okay, so that first page, this is just from the street. There's nothing altered with this photo. What you'll notice is how far back the front elevation of the home is. So this is, and we'll get to the site plan and the survey. What's unique about this neighborhood is that they have 35 feet from the pavement edge to the front parcel boundary, which is fairly large. So although there is, part of our relief is a front setback, it is just for the existing front elevation. From the pavement edge as it sits, it's almost 54 feet back from the pavement edge. Now, I know they don't own all that, but it is set back pretty far. Jump into page 2, please. Why we're here. We're here with a staff recommendation of approval for a renovation and addition to a unique non-conforming property on a non-conforming parcel. The home was built in 1988 and it encroaches into the front and side setbacks. And the existing home does not have a garage, which is a code requirement of RS1. And you can see, we don't have to go back, but you can see on the front there is neither a garage nor a carport there. The lot is also non-conforming. This is platted in 41. It's 6,600 square feet. The code requirement for this is 9,000. So it's undersized. I will point out it's 60 feet wide instead of the code requirement minimum 90. So the lion's share, or 2 of our 3 variance requests, are for width, essentially for side setbacks. We are a 60 in an area designed for a 90-foot width. So not only are we small, we're narrower than code. Existing home, it's ready for update, needs a garage, needs configuration changes. This hardship was not created by the owner, and these owners have used a licensed architect to work to stay in conformity with the neighborhood and provide reasonable use and not tear down an existing 1988 home. I will point out the project is otherwise conforming, so they're not seeking coverage or any other relief. Next page. This is specifically what's sought. The lot size is just existing and non-conforming. Front yard setback, as you saw on the front page, that is 18.9, and that would be in lieu of the current code minimum of 25. The easterly side setback is 5.4 in lieu of 10, and the westerly 5.6 in lieu of 10. So 1, 2, and 3 are all just existing. The last one, the westerly side setback, allows for a single car, not double, but a single car garage to be added, which is a component of RS1 zoning, which makes it code compliant. Next page, a little more about why. It is a well-maintained dwelling, but it's ready for renovation and addition for their growing family. Code, as you are all aware, a modest renovation of this would quickly trigger code compliance. Currently, improvements are assessed at 192,036. Once you go beyond half of that, you have to bring the whole thing up to code. You're encroaching on the front and the side, so we'd be here at this podium either way. Configuration, this allows them to fix a poor layout in the addition process. Conformity, this predates. It's platted in 41 and built in 88. It just predates the current code. And then there's safety. This property, the entire property will be built to code, not to mention all the addition under the strict Florida building code. And then you have aesthetics, beautification, and value. So just a general improvement for that neighborhood. The next exhibit is just an aerial map. So you can see it's an interior lot, one off from the corner. And part of why I wanted this exhibit is we do have some supporting neighbors. You can see where they live relative to the subject property. Our support correspondence is all very proximate. They're not distant neighbors, they're immediate neighbors in support. Next exhibit, there's a survey. This is just to evidence what I mentioned right out of the gates. This parcel boundary is 35 feet off of the pavement edge. So although there is a front setback relief for the existing elevation of what kind of a bump out, this property is set very far back from the pavement edge. Next page is the proposed site plan. On the left is existing, on the right is proposed. So what I did is I circled essentially where we're tight, where we have relief. Let's start on the left. Those two are existing. That's the front and the side. And then with the proposed, by adding the single car garage, again, not a double, not an oversized, there is we get to that 5 foot or 5.4 on that side. No other relief is sought for coverage. Everything else is conforming. Next page is some additional photos. The first is the driveway from the street. As you can see, there is no covered or enclosed parking. The next one is the front elevation. You can see there is a bump out. It kind of juts, and that's where we get that request for the 18.9 instead of 25. And then the rear yard. I included this photo just to show you do have a large rear. There's no relief sought for any of the improvements to the rear, and nothing sought for coverage. Plenty of room back there for what they've planned. Last, we have supporting correspondence. We don't have to go back to the aerial, but the first one here is the contiguous neighbor at the rear, the Andresens. They're well aware of the project. They're in support, and they share a rear corner boundary. Next is the neighbor directly across the street, the Sharps. They look at this property every day. They are in support. They're well aware of the scope. Next one is the contiguous westerly neighbor. They are also, they took the time to physically attend this meeting, and they're in support. Carolyn and Bill, they're here. And that would be just to make it straightforward, that is the neighbor that the garage is going next to. So they're here and they're in support. Last, I don't want to lose anybody. We'll just quickly go through. We have criteria for approval. We came here with a staff recommendation of approval. So let's just quickly walk through. Number one, there are conditions. Staff agrees there are conditions that are unique to this parcel and this building. And so we believe we have a unique parcel and unique structure. Number two, these circumstances were not created by these owners. These applicants did not create this situation. Number three, there's no special privileges afforded by approving this variance. Number four, if the city or the board did literally enforce the code, it would deprive the applicant of rights that are enjoyed by other nearby parcels. And number five, this request is necessary to make reasonable use of the parcel and the structure. And the last one is we don't believe it creates a public nuisance, as evidenced by the supporting from the neighbors. I will stand by for any questions. As I mentioned, we have the contractor and the owners here as well. Should those types of questions emerge that I couldn't answer on the fly.
I just have a comment. Your photographer knows how to use depth of field very effectively.
I promise I am the untrained photographer. I just stood at the curb with the iPhone. It is a lot of grouse though. It's 54 feet of lawn, but yes.
Okay, does any board member have any questions for the applicant?
Can you share a little bit about what this detached accessory structure is intended to be? Is that another dwelling unit, or is that a shared?
I'm glad you asked, because I asked them as well. It's not a dwelling unit. The owners are here. One may work out of it, but it's just going to be out there by the pool. It's not intended to be like an ADU or another dwelling. I believe, and I don't know if Nevs can clarify. I don't even think it's even allowed to have a shower. But either way, it's not intended to be an ADU or an additional unit.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have none.
Okay, sir, you can step back. I will now open the public hearing. Again, if there's anybody who's here who's filled out a speaker's card, is ready to speak, we'll just sort through your card and find it.
Peter Rowell, homeowner.
Oh, please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Peter Rowell, 1240 5th Avenue North, Jacksonville Beach, 32250.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say I am the homeowner with my wife and my young daughter who was running around somewhere. We'll be in the home in May for 10 years. So Our daughter turns 4. It's getting a little small for us, and we absolutely love the neighborhood. She goes to St. Paul's. That's something we want to continue to do, and we just really, really like the neighborhood and everything. We're just starting to run out of space. So with this, we wanted to make the additions to give her more space, to have an additional room if we do have any family members come down, which is something we don't have now, and make it kind of our forever home. So that's all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry, can you tell me a little bit more about that detached unit? When you
Yes.
just mentioned family, is that going to be like a guest
No.
space or?
No, it's just going to be a room with no running water or anything along those lines. It's going to be a room that we work out in, and mostly just we're going to have sliding glass doors that open up to the outside area. So just something we can open. It's not connected to the house in any way, and just kind of have people in there, have a TV, couches, that type of thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My clock's not working.
I don't know about the clock. The clock's not working.
I think you're good. We can let the
Yeah,
next
that's
person
good.
that might have
Okay,
something.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Technical help.
For those anxiously awaiting in the audience, typically we have 3 minutes to each speaker, so we just want to make sure that that's visible to you all. So bear with us as we work through the technical difficulty.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
How are you? My name's Bill Pugh.
She's swearing you in. I'm sorry. Sue.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Bill Pugh, 567 Palm Tree Road, Jackson Beach.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Bill Pugh. I live on the west side of where Pete and Kristen live. Their garage will be within the 5.5 feet. We have no problems whatsoever. We don't want to lose them as neighbors. They're the best darn neighbor that has ever been in that house since 2018 or 88. It's great. They're great. That's all there is to it. We don't want to lose them. They do need the room, and that's all I got to really say is hope you give them their answers.
Thank you.
Mr. Pugh, if you haven't filled out the speaker's card.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
There's
he
a
did?
speaker
Oh,
card.
okay. I'm so sorry.
but Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other speakers? You didn't want to speak?
Are you
Are-
in Brown? Okay, Kristen. Okay. I'm just- okay.
Anybody else? Fill out the speaker's card. Wants to speak? Okay. Okay. Seeing no more speakers cards and nobody else wants to speak, I will go ahead and close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is
So
there
we
a
want to
motion?
assume that they don't want to address any of the comments?
Oh,
If they're
I'm
unfavorable?
sorry. Yeah, let's get. Did you want to address any of the comments? You don't have to. Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so bringing it back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-100067 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all of the standards for a variance outlined as in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Any discussion?
I think the testimony is very clear. It's an undersized lot, both in terms of width and overall area. Recognizing that there is a substantial front yard extension in terms of city-owned 35 feet. Ignoring that for a moment, 18.9 feet is still in the realm of what you would typically see for a 20-foot setback, though this is a 25-foot section. So in the consideration of those two things, it's still a substantial, nearly 20-foot setback plus the 35 feet of the city-owned area. I don't think that that's going to present any issue to the community at large, and I think it fits as an overarching appropriate variance. The side yard setbacks, I think, are in condition with having 60-foot in lieu of the 90-foot. This does give them the use there, and the existing structure lends itself to both of those items. My one concern was the unit in the back corner there, being at 5 feet from the fence. Hearing that unit is more of a recreational sort of pool house situation, that does fall within the existing use cases for the code and does meet, so there's no variance that would be needed there. So I fully support. I think that the situation of the lot speaks for itself based on the evidence provided today.
Okay, any other discussion? Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Matt Metz,
Yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for variance has been approved. Can we call the next case, please?
The board calls BOA number 25-100068, property address 2007 South First Street. Motion to consider sections 34-615 Echo 1 Charlie 3 for a front yard setback of 8 feet in lieu of 20 feet. 34-615 Echo 1 Charlie 1 for a rear yard setback of 12 feet in lieu of 20 feet. 34-615 Echo 1 Charlie Echo for 51.8% and 55.1% primary structure and required driveway lot coverage in lieu of 45% maximum for 2 new urban single-family dwellings located on 2 non-conforming lots of record.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Cindy Trimmer, 1 Independent Drive, Suite 1200, Jacksonville.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you so much. Cindy Trimmer with Driver McAfee. I do have members of the team here with me. This project was before you back in May, and the board denied it having concerns with the hardship that was imposed and the proposal to develop two single-family residences on historic lots of record. So over the last intervening 5 months, we worked very closely with staff and with your attorney to come up with a plan that everybody could get behind that reduces the request for the deviations. And we now are before you with a recommendation of approval from staff for the proposed development plan. This is a negotiated settlement of the earlier hearing. We had filed for an administrative appeal based on the record. So this was, again, with your attorney, with your planning director. The notice on this one got a little bit confusing. There is not a requirement for you to look at the front yard setback. That is something that is approved at the director level because it was determined to be consistent with the pattern of development in the area. So the only requests at this point are the coverage and that rear setback. The rear setback in the application, pursuant to the planning director and the attorney's instruction, was to actually break that down and refer to it to the building line, which is your 12 feet, and then to the balcony, which overhangs on the above floors, which is 7 feet. So we would just ask to make sure that that is clear because that was the instruction that we got back from them. So we are hopeful, understanding this is not a self-created hardship. These are historic lots of record, much like you just heard. A lot of these historic lots in this area are 2,600 feet. The 2 here that are platted lots of record from the 20s are 2,600 feet. So to be able to construct appropriate houses on them, which are the type of development that is desired in the beaches area, you can't make it within the confines of the setbacks that are required. So you have all of the outline in your report and the application, an affirmative finding that each of the criteria are met in this instance. And again, this was something that everybody worked really, really hard on for the last half a year to get to something that everybody could support. If you have questions, happy to answer them. Like I said, I do have the design team here. We would really appreciate your support so that they can move forward.
Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Joe?
No.
More?
I have no questions. No.
Okay, why don't you have a seat and we'll open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? Oh, we don't know. Does anybody fill out a speaker's card for this particular case?
I think some of these are for the prior one.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's one. Yeah, this was goes with 6, 7.
No? Okay, seeing how that we don't have any speakers cards that we know of and no one wants to speak, I'll now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-1000068 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for variances outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion? No discussion?
I think the limiting factor here is the size. So
Yes.
we're in RM2 where there's already a substantially small lot minimum requirement of 3,500 feet. This is 2,600 feet. That's out loud. But as provided by the applicant, there is a very difficult condition to make it usable. And looking at the standards as provided, this is a circumstance that is specific to the lot and not of the doing of the applicant, and does provide the minimum viable use of the land.
I agree. Any other?
I agree with what he said.
No? Okay. Any, no further discussion? Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Matt Metz,
Yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Gurley.
Yes. Your request for a variance has been approved. Okay, can we call the next case, please?
The board calls BOA number 25-1000069, property address 124 South 11th Avenue, C. Motions to consider sections 34-615 Echo 3 Charlie 1 for a front yard setback of 10 feet in lieu of 20 feet for construction of a second-story wood deck extension to a multifamily dwelling. Property address 124 South 11th Avenue, Unit C.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
My name is Hunter Buchanan. Address is 124 11th Ave South, Unit C, Jacksonville Beach, Florida 32250.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, sir.
My wife and I are here today to request a variance for a reduction in the setback from 20 feet to 10 feet in the front yard setback region in a residential multifamily zoning area. The reason for this request initiated with the determination that the lot is in a substandard lot size, creating a hardship that was inherited as we moved into the property. And our request specifically is to extend the balcony on the second floor to a level that would interrupt with the setback from 20 feet to 10 feet. The reason for this request, it would provide more functional living space for my wife and I and our growing family. And we love where we live. We love the neighborhood. We love our neighbors. We love the community. But the space which we live in is rather crammed and small, particularly that in a substandard size property. It is smaller, and extending the balcony would give us more living space for our family. And I think we would it would be greatly enjoyable and give us more time to spend in the area. Looking through that, it would thinking through any impact on the community. We spent time talking about with each of our neighbors and wanted to make sure that it wouldn't create any obstructions or any other interruptions there. And there were no objections from our neighbors, and they were okay with it. And looking through some of the other properties on the street, it would still be behind other variances within the street itself, particularly on the eastern part of the street. It would still be behind other variances that have been approved. So it wouldn't be creating, I think, an undue nuisance in the area. It wouldn't be causing any obstruction or anything of that nature. And so that's the reason for our request today to reduce the setback.
And basically, it's going to come out of a second floor. You're extending, and it's not going to be a room that blocks view. It's going to be an open space.
Exactly. It's going to just be an extension of the balcony. There's, with the house structure, basically there's a small balcony on the right side of the home if you're facing the street, and a small little opening on the left side of the home. And the balcony will just extend out to a maximum of 10 feet to connect that, being an open structure, not enclosed, in continuous with the current design of the deck. That's correct.
Any other questions for the applicants? Okay, you can step back, please.
Thank you.
I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? Well, we don't know. Is there? There's one here. Sorry, go ahead.
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Stephanie Drog. I am at 124 11th Avenue South, Unit B.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Good evening, members of the council and planning staff. My name is Stephanie Drog, and I live right in the same condo complex as Priya and Hunter, so I'm in the unit behind them. I'm speaking in support of their request for the setback and a variance to add a balcony. This addition will give their growing family a safe and comfortable outdoor space, something that's difficult to achieve within the limited layout of the complex. I personally know Priya and Hunter very well. They're great friends of mine. They're wonderful neighbors, and I know that the design will be modest and respectful of the neighboring units. It will not impact privacy. It will not block views or significantly alter the overall appearance of the property. I think it will enhance a livable space while remaining consistent with the character of the neighborhood. So for these reasons, I do respectfully ask the council to approve the request for the setback. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other speakers? Don't know about. Okay, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-100069 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for variances outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second, and discussion.
I have one, I'll call it a point of interest, is that the variance that we would be approving is specific to the lot. And the request of a 10 feet in lieu of 20 feet front yard setback in the context of a balcony extension isn't inherently of concern, but having a 10-foot setback attached to the lot where they could potentially build other things that could become obstruction of view.
Yeah, we usually do a condition upon approval, condition upon the plans presented for a deck. So
but would the variance carry beyond the deck for future construction? Is there a condition we can put just that it only applies to the deck?
Yeah, that's the condition. You can apply, make it apply to the plans presented for a deck.
Okay,
Then you're right. The predecessors could come forward and say, well, I have a variance. I can destroy the front of it and build out 10 more feet or whatever.
So with that, I'd like to make a motion to amend the prior motion on BOA number 25-100069 to make this attached to the deck as presented in today's hearing.
So it's conditioned upon, approval is conditioned upon the plans presented for a deck.
Approval conditioned upon the plans presented for the deck.
Okay, any discussion on, we have the second.
Second.
So, okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion on that? I think it's a great idea. I think it does what the applicants want, and it does what we would like to have. Okay, can we have a roll call vote on the amendment, please?
John Moreland.
Yes.
Matt Metz.
Yes.
Laura Tierney.
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Okay, so now, any more discussion on the amended, motion to approve? So it's conditioned upon, the plans presented as for the deck.
I think it's very good use of space, what they want to do, very reasonable.
Right. Yes. Anybody else?
Yes. No, I think that also limits it to the.
Okay, can we have a roll call vote then, please?
John Moreland.
Yes.
Matt Metz.
Yes.
Laura Tierney.
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for a variance has been approved with those conditions. Can we call the last case, please?
The board calls case number BOA 25-100070, property address 964 North 21st Street. Motions to consider sections 34-612 Echo 1 Charlie 2 for a northerly side yard setback of 5 feet in lieu of 7.5 feet and 12.5 feet total in lieu of 15 feet total for construction of a one-car garage addition to an existing single-family dwelling.
Okay, just as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Katie Corbo, 964 21st Street North, Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. And is he able to get sworn into speech as well?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Michael Gray, 964 21st Street North, Jacksonville Beach, Florida 32250.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
To prevent a problem, could you both make an effort to speak a little stronger?
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, no problem. So we're here today to request a 2.6 foot variance from the side setback to allow a single car garage addition. Due to the home's existing placement, meeting the full setback isn't possible. It should not affect the overall value or the neighborhood or visuals negatively. And the request is the minimum relief necessary that we would need in order to get a one car garage addition onto the property. We do have a written statement from 3 of our neighbors. We are at the end of a dead end, so we have our next door neighbors, our neighbors across the street, and the neighbors adjacent to us. And we have it over there with signatures that they are supportive of the variance approval.
Yeah, so also I also passed out some of the drawings and the surveys. It's kind of cut and dry. That's basically what we need for the one car garage. It's not oversizing. It's one car. It's what is in the code. Where is it?
That's okay, because that
Yeah, what's in the case code? Yep.
didn't exist when your house was built.
Yeah.
But yes, that's basically it.
Yeah. Okay, any questions for the applicants?
Can you describe the hardship that exists for the property that resulted in this variance request?
Sure. So the property right now doesn't have a lot of storage space for any really outdoor equipment or anything that might necessarily need to go into a garage. We did spend about an hour with our architect walking around the property to see if there were any other options to put a garage in. But unfortunately, it looks like this is the most reasonable option to place a one-car garage on the property. We would be running into another issue if we tried to go forward, and then on the other side of the property, it's even a smaller section that we have available. So this seemed like the most reasonable option.
And the placement of the home also creates issues for you, correct?
Yes, correct.
It's because I believe it's because we're right near an easement as well, so they stuck the home farther on the easement side. So it's just, yeah.
Okay, any other questions for the applicants?
I've none.
Okay, you guys can step back. And I'll now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards? Seeing how we have no speakers cards, I will close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-100070 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for a variance as outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Discussion. I'll just point out that the unique circumstance for this lot, I think, is the placement of the home onto the lot, as it appears to be a conforming lot. But I think that in and of itself creates this unique special circumstance. And also, the applicants are not looking to do a land grab here. They're considering something fairly modest in their plans. That's just me.
Could you say more about the placement of the home on the lot relative to its surroundings?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see it in the document provided in the staff report.
Yeah.
And it's hard to contextualize the constraints.
I just going with the staff said it was difficult. Placement created, I guess, not sufficient room on either side. Well, the one side that they have it on, but yeah, I think it's the placement. Okay, any further discussion on this?
I've had none.
We're all good? Okay, seeing how there's no further discussion, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Matt Metz,
No.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Laura Tierney,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Your request for variance has been approved. Okay, moving on, we have the planning department report.
Our next meeting will be on October 21st, and we have 2 new cases plus the deferred case from today.
October 21st is our next one?
Yes, October 21st, which will be a Tuesday.
Okay, and then my favorite courtesy, the Florida visitors. Anyone? Anyone? Okay. Is there a motion to
chance
adjourn?
to say something.
Yes, that's right. Motion. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.